is Leana. I'm the president for Home-Start Burundi, and I represent Home-Start Burundi. Home-Start Burundi is located in Africa, in Central Africa, or part of East Africa. That's where we are. Yes, at the head there is a president, who is me, and we have a committee, we have a member of board, and we have coordinator, and under the coordinator there are volunteers. So all of those, we operate as a unity, and we operate through the same goal, toward the same goal. There is also issues of child malnutrition. The volunteer goes there in the family and look at the situation, look at the children who are stunted, for example, and then help them to learn how to prevent this kind of problem in the family, and or how to treat the children who are stunted or who are suffering the issues of malnutrition. So there are different ways volunteers help the organization according to the family needs and according to the way they are trained. The training we offer is the same standard as Home-Start Worldwide volunteer training standard, but of course in different countries there are different ways of giving or training volunteers according to the needs that are in the communities, but the standard is the same. But to mention, volunteers in Burundi, we train them to empower the families in those areas that I spoke about, like in the areas of family malnutrition, how preventing family malnutrition, helping a family prevent helping a family to prevent the malnutrition for children, helping families to do the planning so that they can avoid unwanted pregnancies, helping families to learn how to develop themselves, how to plant, to do business, for example, so that they can lift themselves out of poverty, which is a very big case among the families that we have in Burundi. How can you do business that will help the family to be economically independent, for example? How can you help the family to learn about how to, for example, to prevent the sicknesses that comes as a result of a lack of hygiene, for example? So all those kind of needs that are in the community that we find in Burundian communities, we give the training according to the needs that are met in the communities. So there are different areas of training that we give according to the needs that we have assessed in the communities. We are available. We are available for volunteers. Coordinators make themselves available. For example, maybe that a volunteer is sick, or a member of her family or his family is sick and need help to get to the hospital, or need help to pay their medical bills, for example, or even may need a medical insurance, for example, which is a big problem also in Burundi. So when we have the opportunity, of course, to help, so we support the families or the volunteers' families in those in different ways. depending on the needs they have, or depending also on the capacity to help that we have. Because in many cases, the volunteers stumbles on programs that we cannot solve as an organization or as a scheme. So we try to help volunteers in different ways. We give also them guidances in the areas where they need guidance to tackle everyday life as a family, as a volunteer. So we do that also. We invite for meal. We arrange some social gatherings, for example, to help them see that we appreciate them. We are together, and we really are happy to have them, and we are happy for the work they are doing for families. So we show this by getting closer to them, having meal together, paying a medical bill, for example, for a child who is sick, paying medical insurance, for example, when a family needs a mutual, which is a kind of medical insurance. So these kind of small services that a volunteer may need, we face different challenges, and many in Home-Start Burundi. For example, we have the problem of reaching volunteers when we need them. The communication is very different and difficult in Burundi among Home-Start office and volunteers, because many of the volunteers don't have the telephone that everybody maybe in the West or in other countries have. This is because of they have a shortage of financial resources to afford buying a telephone, for example. So it's very difficult to reach the volunteers when you need them. There is a lot of need in the communities, family needs. We have many families that need help every day, and sometimes we don't have volunteers. Many times we don't have volunteers to send to the family. And another thing is, we may even have a volunteer available and may not have the resources, the money to send her, because sending a volunteer in the field in Home-Start Burundi means having the money to pay, for example, for her transport or his transport. I would love to see that families that have the need for Home-Start services in Burundi get that service at the right time. And this can be done by Home-Start Burundi having access to the resources that we need to support volunteers, so that to make it easy for volunteers to serve the families, because what we need is the resources. That's the biggest need that we have. Once we have the resources, the financial resources to support volunteers, we are able to recruit many volunteers as possible, because recruiting volunteers in Burundi, it's possible to recruit so many volunteers that we need, according to the needs that we see in the communities, according to the families that we have in the Burundian communities that need help, need services that Home-Start Burundi offer. But to be able to do this, we need financial resources. We need to recruit, and the recruitment require money, and training require money, and sending volunteers out require. So this is the challenges that we have, that we hope that really will be solved, so that we can have big number of volunteers because we have a big number of families that need help.